Suggestions, remedies, recommendations way forward. The main preventive measures as a way forward that can be taken by organizations, public institutions, regulatory bodies, and the agencies of the state to curb, control, and minimize white-collar crimes. 1. Firstly, banks and credit card issuers should review their policies from time to time in order to prevent credit card frauds, and credit cards should not be issued to faceless people. 2. Secondly, as it is deduced from the above discussion that one of the major causes of committing white-collar crimes is the opportunity to commit these crimes. Therefore, a preventive measure should be taken in reducing the opportunity to commit frauds and designing audit and fraud detection systems to be more effective and efficient. 3. Thirdly, organizational structures and processes should be designed in such a way as to reduce opportunities for violations against the regulations. 4. A number of offenses are committed by political persons, officers, executives, and managers posted at higher levels of the organizations, so this trend must be stopped and controlled. 5. Fifthly, different steps can be taken to reassure the public that fraud, bribery, embezzlement, etc. will not be tolerated. Some of these steps are structural reforms, managerial actions, enforcement of current laws, and publicized punishments for white-collar criminals. 6. Sixthly, the particular opportunity structure that allows an offense to occur in an organization must be identified first, and in this way, the crime can be prevented. 7. Seventhly, we need a definite change in corporate structures and attitudes, intervention, and will of political government to introduce corporate changes and legal improvements in the legal system to punish white-collar criminals and control corporate as well as white-collar crimes. 8. Eighthly, the governments of this country should curb white-collar crimes and take necessary measures and actions to improve the performance and functioning of the anti-corruption agencies, i.e., the Federal Investigation Agency, FIA, the National Accountability Bureau, NAB, and the anti-corruption establishments, so that these agencies must take strict action against white-collar offenders to recover the looted money. 9. Implementation of existing laws. Keeping in view the present state of affairs in Pakistan, there is a dire need for the legislative body and courts to take immediate measures to ensure strict implementation of existing laws of NAB, FIA, FBR, SECP, and the State Bank. A legal system needs to evolve that protects society from the enormous consequences of white-collar crimes committed by directors, chief executives of corporations, and public office holders. 10. Need for proactive policies. Nowadays, fraud schemes are turning more sophisticated than ever, and law enforcement agencies across the world are using their skills to track down the culprits and stop scams before they start. Unfortunately, we are still clueless in this regard. We have a tendency to react rather than adopting a proactive approach to fight criminal activity. The government does not seem inclined to recruit technicians, computer forensic investigators, blood spatter analysts, etc. Besides, there is a need to enhance the capacity of micro-level law enforcement officers as they play a crucial role in the investigation of any case. 11. Deterrence strategies. Some criminologists say that the punishment of white-collar crimes should include retributive activities that have harmed social values and deserve commensurate punishment. Even the heavy fines component, similar to that used in common law crimes, is advocated. White-collar crimes, after all, are immoral, and penalties are no more than a slap on the wrist to multi-billion-dollar companies. Corporations can get around economic sanctions by moving their rule-violating activities overseas, where legal controls over injurious corporate activities are lax or non-existent. They argue that the only way to limit white-collar crime is to deter potential offenders through fear of punishment. Perceptions of detection and punishment for white-collar crimes appear to be powerful deterrents to future law violations. Deterrence strategies involve detecting criminal violations, determining who is responsible, and penalizing the offenders to deter future violations. Deterrence systems are oriented toward apprehending violators and punishing them rather than creating conditions that induce conformity to the law. Deterrence strategies should work, and they have, because white-collar crime by its nature is a rational act whose perpetrators are extremely sensitive to the threat of criminal sanctions. 12. General deterrence. While retribution is important as a stamp of a society's disapproval of a particular conduct, the governing principle of sentencing in cases of the kind with which we are concerned is general deterrence. The sentence must be exemplary and sufficient so that members of the business community are put on notice that if they break the trust which has been reposed in them, they will receive proper punishment. It is vital not only in the interests of the business community, but in the interests of society, that leaders of that community act honestly in all their dealings. Any slip from the high standards demanded of directors can put at risk the fortunes of their company and also the fortunes, large or small, of those who invest in them. In extreme cases, the misconduct can affect the economy as a whole. 13. Reduction of crime opportunities by changing organizational structures. The fraud triangle specifies three motives for employees to commit crime: opportunity, pressure, and excuses. Some preventive measures are regularly reviewing policies and designing audit and fraud detection activities in an efficient and effective manner. One of the preventive measures recommended to curb white-collar crimes is the reduction of opportunities for crime by changing organizational structures. If the managers and executives observe ethics, white-collar crimes can be reduced. 14. Need for coordination. Often, with a nexus of organized crime, there is a need to focus on complex investigations of activities that are international, national, or regional in scope. The law enforcement agencies have to acquire unique expertise or capabilities that increase the likelihood of successful investigations. The investigators have to work closely with partner suggestions, remedies, recommendations, way forward. 14. Need for coordination. Often, with a nexus of organized crime, there is a need to focus on complex investigations of activities that are international, national, or regional in scope. The law enforcement agencies must acquire unique expertise or capabilities that increase the likelihood of successful investigations. Investigators must work closely with partner law enforcement and regulatory agencies, such as the NAB, FIA, the Security and Exchange Commission, SECP, the FBR, the Health Ministry, Customs, Provincial Excise, and the Anti-Narcotics Force, AN, for targeting sophisticated, multi-layered fraud cases that harm the economy. 15. Need for skilled and expert investigators. The investigative agencies in Pakistan lack room for people of higher caliber or have never introduced a window of opportunity for highly skilled professionals, such as chartered accountants, forensic experts, computer programmers, pathologists, criminal profilers, etc. In white-collar crimes, the initial investigation must be conducted by highly